Without a heroic spirit, I can only hand-rub the mythological version of myself. Introduction. Chu Mo, with a time gate, travels through the era of mythological revival and the birth of ancient heroic spirits. The top experts here can traverse the world, pick stars and set the sun, and think about breaking the star realm. Chu Mo, who was at the bottom of society, could only use the time gate to shuttle through the long river of history, shaping one mythological version after another of himself in the past, and condensing it into. Chapter 1. Black Mist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, in a dilapidated classroom. The tables and chairs covered in rust exude a sense of time. The wooden tabletop emits a smell of decay. Chu Mo stared silently at everything in front of him, realizing that he had traveled through time. The last memory before crossing the river was that he stayed up late and was playing Paru. While playing, it just shattered. Don't tell him, he died suddenly. Chu Mo took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and sorted out the information in his mind. Thank goodness, this time, it was not the kind of time travel that was forced by after-sales, and he didn't even have a basic memory. The person he traveled through is called Chu Mo, same name. Same appearance. Is the family situation the same? The recumbent slot is the same except for different world backgrounds. Did he cross over to his own parallel world? Chu Mo forcefully calmed his mood, reorganized his thoughts, and based on his memory, another self was in class before. Upon hearing the bell for class, I hurried back to the classroom. Just as I sat down, I saw a faint black mist seeping through the gaps between the doors and windows. Then, the other person lost consciousness. Then, Chu Mo came across and was in this dangerous house, which was exactly the same as the previous classroom and only revealed the breath of time. Undoubtedly, another Chu Mo had already died, and the reason for this was because Chu Mo woke up this time and witnessed his predecessor transform into a skeleton, gradually growing flesh and blood again. Taking a deep breath, Chu Mo slowly turned his head to look at the other seats. Only about 1/3 of the seats have human remains. Does that mean that 1/3 of my classmates in this lifetime have died? Now that the college entrance examination is actually over, he came to class. Mainly because he is an excellent student with cultivation talent and needs extra tutoring. Although it is difficult to make up for the missed classes after the college entrance examination. So all those who die are qualified. Top students who are admitted to the university's cultivation department. Chu Mo was suddenly shocked. This is a very unique world. Where ancient spirits have descended and merged with humans with cultivation qualifications, allowing humans to ascend to the sky step by step and control the terrifying power of the peak period spirits after complete awakening. The top-notch inheritor of heroes. Even within a few years, one can reach the pinnacle of a country and even the world. However, heroes are still a minority, and most of them are still practicing the methods created by heroes. However, heroes must have cultivation qualifications in order to have a chance to awaken. These deceased individuals naturally have cultivation qualifications and may have obtained the inheritance of ancient heroic spirits. Although it is only possible, the chance of truly obtaining inheritance is less than 1,000, or even 1 in 10,000. And even if one obtains inheritance, there are also strengths and weaknesses. The closer modern heroes are, the weaker they become. Especially in the era of Yaoqing, the combat power they have gained cannot be described as pitiful. A normal cultivator who cultivates for 20.30 years may surpass some second or third-rate demonic and heroic spirits. So, what exactly is this situation? Chu Mo's expression was solemn. Suddenly, a faint red light rose up. Then the scene in front of me unexpectedly underwent a huge change. The table and chairs returned to normal, with sunlight shining through the window onto the ground, warm and cozy. On the podium stood a smiling teacher, and the students around them who had previously turned into bones became normal again, even whispering to each other. I don't know what kind of spirit we can awaken, a tall man spoke loudly, his face filled with joy and excitement. We, the people of the first-level urban area, can only awaken the spirit of the demon Qing era, right? Although we do awaken, I am also very happy. A thin man dragged his cheeks wearily and spoke lazily. Alas, if it weren't for my poor family. I must move to the second-level urban area. That way, I might awaken the spirits of the Ming dynasty. The older the spirits, the stronger they are. The class monitor pushed his glasses and sighed deeply. The class monitor is a very beautiful girl. Well, probably the dream lover before Chu Mo awakened his memory. But at this moment, after Chu Mo awakened his memory, he felt that it was the influence of hormones from his youth. Because in this school, Chu Mo's dream lover probably couldn't count a single hand. Well. He just simply likes beautiful things. Don't dream, move to the urban area. You have money and power, and you can even move to an 8th-level urban area like the demon capital. A short man wearing designer clothes with his nose facing up to the sky, awakening over there. It said that he can awaken the heroes of the Qin era. But what's the point? Awakening to the fact that the heroes themselves are a minority among the few. Who has a 100% chance of awakening? The teacher said, we may only be qualified. The chance is small and scary. Moreover, instead of considering awakening the spirit, it's better to think about which cultivation method to purchase after entering university. The short man coughed and finally revealed his purpose. I'm going to buy the martial arts sect created by Sun Hu, the great master of awakening the spirit of the Ming dynasty General Sun Chengzong. The art committee member looked at the short stature with admiration on his face and said, wow, your family is so rich. I know that, the price is very expensive. My mom said, if you buy it with a loan, you will have to pay it back for 30 years. The art committee member was somewhat distressed, according to my family's situation. I can only buy a blood refining method from the demon Qing era. I am preparing to purchase it, awakening the blood refining method created by the Qianlong spirit. In this way, I can purchase a demon clan blood seed and successfully refine it, and then embark on a path of transcendence. Only a minority of people make loud noises. Most of them were silent, occasionally looking at those who were shouting loudly, with envy in their eyes. Although it's just a school, it seems like we have seen a corner of the future, and class has begun to divide. Chu Mo's body stiffened, staring blankly at the podium. Without saying a word, he was sweating even more. He is very certain that he did not experience any hallucinations before, and the group of people around me, although they seem to communicate normally, is it really like this for normal student communication? What a special. The teacher is still on the podium. It should be class time now, right? You have ignored the teacher and are shouting loudly here. You're really not afraid of getting hammered, are you? Classmates. Although the college entrance examination has come to an end, as special seeds who usually perform well and are eligible to be admitted to university practice classes, you still have a chance to awaken your spirit. Teacher Wang Han from the podium patted the blackboard heavily with excitement in his voice. He seemed to have completely missed the group of students below who ignored him and communicated on their own. Once the heroes are awakened, although in our first level region, we can only awaken those at the level of Yao Qing, it also means changing the fate of 3 generations. Wang Han became more and more excited as he spoke, dancing and excited to the extreme. In the future, if you step onto the battlefield, defend the human race, make achievements, and become a hero of the human race. Or according to the memories passed down to you by heroes, explore and create a cultivation method, which will be widely spread. You can even enter the capital and be granted a title. From then on, you will become a noble class. Wang Han paused for a moment, and when he spoke again, his voice became peculiar. It was no longer him speaking alone, but everyone in the entire classroom said the same thing. Are you saying so? Chu Mo. Chu Mo's eyes slowly widened, and he was shocked and frightened to find that in that moment, all the students in this room had turned their gaze towards him. They all have the same smile, even the same expression, the squinting curve of their eyes, and the same body movements, dozens of people, as if they were one person. Chu Mo's heart suddenly stopped beating, and he frantically flipped through the memories he had gained after traveling, vaguely realizing something. Is it a phantom demon? Since he is very certain that the previous one could not have been an illusion, it is only possible that everything that appears in front of him now is an illusion. The demon class that controls hallucinations has always been very high level, but even those that are too high level cannot appear in first-level urban areas like hailing. Based on the memories left by their predecessors and comprehensive considerations, it is estimated that they are dream demons. Demons are one of the enemies of humanity. In the history of this world, the demon race once caused extremely great trouble to humanity. Later, with the arrival of the Age of the Heroes and the rise of the human race, the positions of hunters and hunters were reversed. But Chu Mo still couldn't understand why demons appeared in the city. Although the place where the predecessor lived was a first-level urban area, there were also strict urban defense measures in the classroom. The corners of the mouths of classmates and teachers became increasingly intertwined, and in the end, they completely tore apart. Blood overflowed from the corners of their mouths and fell continuously to the ground. Blood seemed to have life, transforming into strange hands, spreading towards Chu Mo's direction. Most importantly, Chu Mo saw again the same strange phenomenon as before. In the gap between the door and window, black mist began to spread again. Touching the curtains, tables and chairs of the black mist, they undergo another crazy transformation, as if 100 years have passed in just 1 second. They have already been disturbed by the black mist once, and now they are almost completely rotten into dust and mud. Even if it feels like the other side may not really have the power to control time, all of this is just an illusion. Chu Mo is still a bit panicked. Am I going to die? Chu Mo forced himself to calm down, only to find that he couldn't calm down. He was thinking about whether he should smash the window and escape, but when he thought about the possibility of being in an illusion now, he immediately realized that all his escape measures could be futile. What am I doing when I cross over here? Do I die again? Damn it. System. Golden Finger. Simulator. Does TMD have it? Come out. Tathagata, God, Jade Emperor, Taoist Sanqing. Bless me with another pregnancy after I die. Just when Chu Mo was really almost desperate, even preparing to smash cans, grab tables, smash windows, and die, the illusory projection suddenly appeared in his eyes. Name. Chu Mo, Identity. Master of Time Portal, Realm. None, Talent. None, Current Martial Arts. None, Number of times historical time can be shuttled. 1, Optional talent lottery times. 1. Chapter 2. Reincarnation and Rebirth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, crouching slot, did the golden finger really scream out? Chu Mo was greatly shocked, and then his heart was filled with joy. He just said that he really had an unexpected joy. Sure enough, the intruder had to bring a golden finger. Otherwise, the taste of this time travel will not be pure. So, what's your use? Hurry up, it's too late now. Can you take me out of the crisis? As soon as he asked in his heart, countless messages came to Chu Mo's mind, causing waves to splash in his heart. Can I go through this door? To the past. According to the information in his mind, if Chu Mo were to put his consciousness into this door, it would randomly descend upon a certain moment in history. Of course, it's just consciousness. And it's more like reincarnation. Reincarnating into someone's past mother's womb, suddenly awakening memories in a certain moment. Just like now. Moreover, the information revealed by this portal is very interesting. That's even if he did something to overturn history in the past. For example, when the Ming dynasty was about to fall, he turned the tide and did not let it fall. For example, during the Three Kingdoms period, he ruled the world himself. This will not directly affect the butterfly effect, turning the current world upside down, but it will not have any impact on the current world. What does it mean? To be true is to listen to your words, as if listening to your words. Chu Mo didn't actually understand for a while. However, there is something he does understand. According to the information transmitted by the Gate of Time, when he travels back, he can use the great achievements he has made in the past to condense his own spirit. Is my spirit myself? Hush. If he had traveled several times, could he have condensed several heroes? He has heard of the awakening of the twin heroes, but this cannot be described less. Each one is a true national pride. Unmatched talent. He has been envied and even envied by countless people around the world. But if he really can gather a hero by wearing it once, how many can he finally gather? It's scary to think about it. However, Chu Mo has no time to think about this problem now. If he doesn't move his golden fingers, he will encounter black fog. Another fortunate thing is that according to the message transmitted by the Gate of Time, during the process of Chu Mo's spiritual reincarnation, time in the real world came to a halt. So there's no need to worry about him wearing something and his body dying suddenly. The only question is whether he can use this to gain enough strength to break free from the crisis. Shuttle through history. In the next moment, Chu Mo felt that everything he could perceive was uncontrollably engulfed by the portal in his mind. The last thing he saw was the black mist and bloody hands, just a stone's throw away from him. The demon Qing era. Qianlong calendar. Zheojiabeo. An 8-year-old child stood in the courtyard, holding several bird eggs that he had pulled out, staring blankly at the unbearable courtyard walls. Those simple and gentle uncles and aunts in the minds of young children were all torn apart, with blood splattered on the ground and walls. A giant monster, 3 meters tall, with cracked muscles and ferocious tiger skin, sat cross-legged on the ground. His shoulders were wide and towering, and his hair emitted oily light. The terrifying tiger head was so huge that it devoured the head of the young child's neighbor, Aunt Wang, with great interest. His tail behind him swayed gently, like a steel whip, splashing terrifying dust. It glanced at the young child with enthusiasm, as if looking at a cute little cake, but soon averted its gaze. Silly roe deer, run. A warrior holding a steel knife roared at the young child with a fierce expression. At this moment, he didn't even have time to think. How could such a child escape the hand of this giant demon? And even if we escape, how can we survive in this world? He only has one thought in his mind now: procrastinate time, try to procrastinate as much as possible. Chu Mo. To be honest, Chu Mo is a bit tempted to curse now. Oh my goodness, why don't you play with him? Awakening memories in the real world is like dying once. I used the time gate to pass through once, my dear. Awakening memories is still facing a fatal crisis. You can't play without facing a fatal crisis, right? Of course, Chu Mo was also aware that it was possible that one had to be greatly stimulated in order to awaken. But the problem is, he's dead now, although it doesn't mean he's really dead, but if his consciousness is sent back and his body is dead, then it's really dead. If he returns to the main world now, then it's not 100% dead. Suddenly, his thoughts coalesced, and Chu Mo finally thought of the most crucial thing. He silently recited the gateway of time and space in his heart, and his eyes once again projected the previous illusory image. However, there have been many changes to the image this time. Name: Chu Mo, identity: Master of the Time and Space Gate, Young Master of Zhao Family Castle, temporary identity, realm. One heavenly day after tomorrow, talent. Increase lifespan, current martial arts. Zhao Family Saber Technique, beginner, Taizu Long Fist, beginner, can condense heroes. None, number of times historical time can be shuttle. None, optional talent lottery times. None. Chu Mo was startled when he saw the lifespan increase. This is the talent he drew from a talent lottery. Later, Chu Mo saw the ellipsis at the back and instinctively clicked on it, only to find a brand new interface. You can inject Shoyuan into martial arts to gain progress. When the longevity element is less than 1 day, it cannot be further infused. Current lifespan. August 98, Sunong, Chu Mo's heart suddenly calmed down. This is his talent that he discovered a long time ago. When he truly faces danger and can solve it himself, he will quickly eliminate all distractions. The day after tomorrow. Nima, I am already a practitioner. I am only 8 years old now. What's special about me? I graduated from high school in my previous life and am a prospective college student. I am 18 years old. I haven't even started on the path of cultivation. Chu Mo felt that this was outrageous. However, this is not that Chu Mo is in control of the world and his talent is too rubbish. But for students studying in public colleges, they must be admitted to the university's cultivation department in order to embark on the path of cultivation. If you don't have the talent for cultivation or can't pass the exam, then you can only honestly study humanities and sciences, and then become a worker after graduation. Just like in your past life. Okay, it's normal. Well, according to my lifelong memory, at the age of 3, my body and bones had initially grown, and my family began to baptize with a pile of medicine. At the age of 5, half of my food turned into various strange herbs, as well as strange shapes of animal milk and blood. I just didn't expect that after learning so many skills from my parents in this lifetime, I could still succeed. Chu Mo's thoughts surged in his mind. After nibbling on the head of Aunt Wang next door, it was like a tiger demon from Chu Mo who had been satisfied with nibbling on a duck neck in a previous life. Slowly, she stood up and walked towards him. The strong stimulation reached the strong man, who rushed forward with a knife. Zhaoshuyuan.com. Wait. Chu Mo only gave himself 1 year to live. All 89 years were spent on Taizu Changquan. First of all, strength needs to be used on the blade. Now he doesn't have a knife in his hand, so he has a hammer to use for making money. As for dividing into 2 halves and spending money together, this is the most foolish operation. It's highly likely that neither of them will be high enough to be low enough. At this moment, Chu Mo felt a strange warm current suddenly rising inside his body. In the first year, you diligently practice Taizu Changquan, and because of your wholehearted dedication, you gradually gain some insights. In the 5th year, as your body bones gradually grow, Taizu Long Fist becomes more and more skilled in your hands, and you have elevated it to the realm of Xiaocheng. But because there are no resources to replenish your body is gradually losing money, and you realize something is not good. In the 10th year, you finally regained your health. During these 10 years, you have been admiring flowers and plants, not practicing diligently, but every relaxation has actually made you feel a strange feeling in your heart. You vaguely realize that you have grasped the essence of Taizu Changquan in the 30th year, no longer practicing crazily, as you are obsessed with it. Even if you practice slowly and steadily, your proficiency in Taizu Long Fist has successfully risen to great success. But at this moment, you keenly sensed that something was wrong with this Taizu Long Fist. He seemed to lack something very crucial. But you were a bit uncertain for a moment. In the 50th year, your expertise in Taizu's Long Fist reached the pinnacle. In this sect, you can truly be called a great master, and you have truly confirmed that the Taizu Long Fist you practice has been castrated, which is a very important part of its essence. This boxing technique is more like a simple technique of refining the body. There is no way to nourish oneself, let alone the method of refining qi. Chapter 3. The Descent of Ancestors. Or is it an ancient genius? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, in your heart, you are silent. In your lifetime, the Zhao family castle is a powerful force in the Jiangnan region, worthy of the title of Marquis of 100 Miles. Looking at the county, it is also a top-level existence. It is said that your ancestors can even trace back to the Zhao and Song royal families. Even so, there is still a possibility of being suddenly killed by demons to exterminate the family. Nevertheless, the martial arts of settling down and establishing one's own destiny have also been castrated and lack something very important. You have some doubts that it is the current imperial court that is causing trouble, but there are also some uncertainties. Because even the court should have no way to interfere with or even change the hereditary skills of local elites, right in the 70th year, you truly reached a point where there was no way to advance, no way to go. Above the Taizu long fist, Chu Mo gazed quietly, feeling the warmth flowing through his body, growing stronger and stronger. In the end, a faint wave sound came from his body, as if it was caused by the rapid flow of blood in his body. At the same time, the flow of lifespan and the improvement of cultivation are still continuing. The tiger demon, as majestic as a small mountain, had just pulled out its tail like a steel whip, but had not yet truly attacked the strong man when it realized something was wrong. He smelled a faint crisis scent. The steel knife struck his fur, making a sound of collision of gold and stones, and sparks splashed. But he seemed to have never heard of it. Bullnose Taoist, or those meddlesome monks. The tiger demon's voice was low, with a sinister smile on its lips. If you want to come out and seek death, hurry up. Tiger Lord, I haven't eaten enough yet. I happen to use you to cushion my stomach. You haven't come out yet, have you? Alright, alright. I'll treat this little brat as a pastry. See if you can still sit still. The tiger demon impatiently grabbed the steel knife that was constantly chopping, lightly stepped on it, and instantly appeared in front of Chu Mo like a shell. The huge tiger paw, like a basin, was about to cover and crush it. Chu Mo calmly gazed at the tiger demon, gazing at the end of Jia Dian. In the 89th year, at the end of your life, you flashed through it like a lantern. Flashing through your 89-year-long contemplation of the Taizu long fist. You seem to have broken through some limitations. Countless pieces of information have fused together in this moment. What have you truly understood? The essence of Taizu long fist. The indescribable meaning of a fist is nurtured from the center of your eyebrows. After laughing heartily, you passed away calmly. The strong man originally watched the tiger demon take action, with fear and despair seeping into his eyes, but in the next moment, he saw a divine light, revealing a magnificent atmosphere in the vastness. Chu Mo moved his wrist, his tender fist without any calluses, but the skin beneath it, the muscles and bones beneath it, were transforming every minute and every second. The body of the tiger demon suddenly froze, and at this moment, its huge tiger paw reversed 3 large circles, almost completely twisting its entire tiger arm. Roar! The tiger demon's body stiffened for a while, and then a deep scream of pain came from his throat. He instinctively took a step back, but collapsed to the ground, rolling on the ground due to extreme pain. He cannot understand what happened. Is it the child in front of me who took action? Impossible. He would rather believe it was a Taoist. What method did he use to make him hallucinate? He was actually fighting against the Taoist. Moreover, the child's fist just now did not even touch his palm. Go with peace of mind. Chu Mo took a slow step forward and lightly punched again. The strong man's eyes slowly widened, and this time he saw clearly. Is that the Taizu long fist? It's very similar, but it feels like there's a certain fundamental difference. In the dark, he remembered the last page of the record of Taizu Changquan. Even after such a long time, the desperate cries of the ancestor who experienced the collapse of heaven and earth in the late Ming and early Qing dynasties seem to still resonate in the ears of everyone who sees his Zhao clan through that page of paper. The road is broken. There's no possibility, fist intention. Ha ha ha, only by breaking free from the constraints of this world can there be a possibility of getting through. But besides death, how can we break free from this world? The meaning of Taizu fist. The strong man uttered 4 words, which only existed in the family legend. The mystery that Taizu Long Fist could only be born after practicing to the extreme appeared before his eyes like this. Is this the sudden appearance of the highest mystery that has not appeared in hundreds of years? He stared blankly, tears uncontrollably falling. Grandfather, have you appeared? As before, Chu Mo's fist had not even made contact with the tiger's head. However, the tiger demon that manifested its prototype had a head that was like tofu being struck with a heavy blow. The head exploded and became flattened, with blood and brain plasma scattered all over the ground. Its massive mountain-like body convulsed several times and gradually stopped moving. Chu Mo didn't pay any attention to the tiger demon at all. He just lowered his head and stared at his palm, still young, with smooth skin. He clenched his fist, still carrying the vitality of a young person. I thought. Chu Mo muttered to himself. He was already well prepared and instantly transformed into a 97-year-old man. He feels that he can accept this price. After all, this is not his true self. However, is there still 1 year left? Chu Mo murmured inwardly. If this world dies, the soul will naturally return to the body of the main world. But the problem is, can this fist technique solve the crisis I am facing? Chu Mo pondered, crossing back and condensing the heroic spirit, which should possess the power of fist intent. At that time, he may or may not be able to solve it, because so far he has not truly determined what the main world is facing. He had previously guessed that it was a dream demon, but he couldn't rule out the possibility of other monsters taking action. Obviously, it is still safer to become stronger as much as possible. If I can't win the rest of the year, can I continue to grow stronger? Or can I continue to extend my life, continue to Krypton gold? Nima. Is there a way to live longer in the world? I haven't heard of it. His mother. Chu Mo began to panic. Anyway, based on the status and contacts of Zhao family castle, he didn't see many centenarians. So I guess that there may be no way to find Shuyuan. Calm, little, young master. The strong man trembled his legs and crawled up to Chu Mo. His name was Zhao Rukan, the younger brother of this generation of clan leaders, and strictly speaking, he could be considered Chu Mo's uncle. However, he is a commoner, and his martial arts talent is not outstanding. Naturally, his status, if it weren't for Chu Mo's father taking great care of him, he would have been divided into several acres of thin farmland and then kicked out of the Zhao family castle. In this case, not to mention practicing martial arts, he probably finds it difficult to even eat, so he has a deep affection for his elder brother. Coupled with having no children, he naturally regards Chu Mo as his own child. This is also the fundamental reason why, when he saw Chu Mo, his first reaction was not to run for his life in embarrassment, but to fight desperately, even though his family was almost dead before. Are you? After some hesitation, Zhao Rukan still asked in a low voice. Although he was a descendant of his clan who had been with him for many years, he instinctively used honorific language. Facing danger, it's natural to do it. Chu Mo's face remained expressionless and his words were as precious as gold. Experience tells him that the more he says, the more mistakes he makes. When facing problems, he should let others think for themselves instead of racking his brains to think of reasons. Our ancestors have shown their spirits, our ancestors have shown their spirits. Zhao Rukan suddenly knelt down with a thud, crying and laughing at times, his demeanor to the extreme. In his eyes, there are undoubtedly two possibilities in the current situation. One is that the eldest brother's son is the reincarnation of the ancestor of the Zhao family. Although there has been no confirmed reincarnation in the world. Other than this explanation, it can only be that the eldest brother's son is a rare martial arts genius in 1,000 years. No matter which one, it's all a matter of ancestral grave smoking. At this moment, the only regret and pain that made him big brother and sister. Law, they can no longer know about this matter. Chapter 4. The Covenant of Not Eating, blood food tax. You are listening at novel full.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, Chu Mo remained silent, allowing Zhao Rukan to vent his emotions. In a day, when a family is destroyed and a person is killed, under such great stimulation, holding emotions in one's heart will eventually lead to problems. In fact, if it weren't for Chu Mo's awakening of past life memories, it wouldn't have been so easy to get out of this matter. Wait. Chu Mo suddenly thought of something, Yao Qing. That means I have traveled to the era of loss. Can I gather Yao Qing level heroes this time? Sigh. It's just that Yao Qing's heroes are also heroes. Awakening the spirit, even if it is weak. It means it is different from ordinary cultivators. Even if a practitioner's strength surpasses that of a spirit, it is the same. Unless you are truly strong enough to defy the heavens. There is indeed such a thing in the Lord's world, simply relying on cultivation, to be on par with top heroes. But this kind of person, too few, and even for these top cultivators, their cultivation ultimately stems from the creation of heroes. Even if their strength is not weak, they still feel inferior in the face of their peers. Chu Mo recalled the memories left to him by the predecessor of the main world, according to the content of compulsory education in the main world. Now, it is the year 2030 in the new calendar. The new calendar is the beginning of a great transformation of heaven and earth. On that day, there was a great change in heaven and earth, which directly caused the Earth's area to expand dramatically, to an unimaginable extent. Various demons, monsters, and terrifying beasts descended with a loud bang. Human civilization was almost destroyed in an instant. Fortunately, demons and monsters are not deliberately pursued by humans, which is why human civilization is struggling to survive. As time passed, a sufficient population gradually gathered, tracing ancient knowledge, reproducing ancient technology, and continuously advancing. However, even so, humans still exist at the bottom of the food chain. Technology has limited impact on demons and monsters. Otherwise, even if the population is reduced to below 10 million due to major changes in heaven and earth, as well as rampant demonic attacks, it is impossible to have no fighting power. Until 800 years ago, the ancient heroic spirit passed down to the world, allowing the human civilization to control its own extraordinary power. Step by step, it has returned to the pinnacle of the world. And 2,000 years ago, those few recorded years were hailed as the era of loss. That is to say, no matter how conservative it is, it may be more than 2,000 years since I crossed the line now. According to ancient documents excavated from Shenzhou, the Yao Qing lasted for 300 or even thousands of years, starting from the Ming dynasty in the first millennium. As for the previous dynasties, they were even longer than each other, Chu Mo pondered. The trauma suffered by human civilization is too great. The more than 1,000 years of darkness have caused humanity to almost discard ancient records. We can only rely on speculation, as well as the incomplete and pitiful memories obtained by the inheritors of the heroic spirit, to deduce. Whether it is the Qing dynasty, Ming dynasty, or even earlier dynasties, their situation, information, and years of existence. All are derived from this, and the accuracy is worrying. Young master, what are we going to do next? Zhao Rukan looked up for a while before finally calming down. He turned his head and stared at Chu Mo. Even though Chu Mo was an 8-year-old child, he naturally placed him in the position of the new head of the Zhao family. Nature. Chu Mo's words suddenly stopped. He stared in the direction of the demon tiger for a while, and his heart began to beat uncontrollably. All of this was because he saw an illusory screen. Name. Zhang Huqiang, race. Northeast tiger. Demon species, extractable, cultivation. 10 heavens after tomorrow, lifespan. 110 years lifespan, currently remaining 90 years, the lifespan of the hunted demon species can be extracted to increase points. However, the lifespan of the hunted creature cannot be used to extend one's own lifespan. Chu Mo hardly hesitated and chose to extract, adding an additional 90 years to his available lifespan balance. Unfortunately, he can only live in this world for 1 year. The future is promising. Chu Mo's heart was surging, with the intention of Taizu's fist. Perhaps there was no way to deal with that inexplicable black mist, but it was only produced by him in 89 years. What if he used it for 1,000 years, or even 10,000 years? A pig that lives for 10,000 years can become a demon. For him, 10,000 years is just a matter of hunting more than 100 monsters of the same level as the tiger demon. A year of hard work is not entirely impossible. But being hunted as a demon species. Chu Mo scanned the prompt interface, meaning that humans or ordinary beasts cannot extract their lifespan after being hunted. And, can we extract demon seeds? Chu Mo pondered, recalling what the art committee had said before. Demon seeds that can be directly refined by the blood refining method, making the human body stronger and embarking on the path of cultivation. If we could extract this thing and bring it back. Just this one thing alone would probably sell for 300,000 to 400,000. Unfortunately. Chu Mo sighed inwardly, probably unable to bring it back. Young master. Zhao Rukun's voice was somewhat uneasy. What happened again, Uncle Lu? Chu Mo's gaze swept away and he said calmly, where? There are the most demons of this kind. Chu Mo stepped forward and kicked the tiger to death. It should be the north. Zhao Rukun said here, gritting his teeth and turning his eyes red with blood. When the demon tribe entered the border and fed on the people's blood, heaven and earth were overturned. If it weren't for the 18 great masters of the world who sacrificed their lives to enter the capital and combined with the demon race to unify the world, there would already be many top human race powerhouses helping them, and there are many words about this. The demon emperor's lineage cannot make a promise not to eat. The promise of not eating. Chu Mo frowned. You don't know. Oh, Zhao Rukun nodded with some relief, almost forgetting Chu Mo's current age. It's that our local aristocrats restrain the local people and raise a large number of chickens, ducks, fish, pigs, and cows. Every year, we offer a portion to the demon clan generals stationed in various places. We call it the blood food tax. In exchange, the demon class no longer eats humans. But with the passage of time, the blood and food tax is getting higher and higher, and now, the one in Kyoto has overturned the new tax system changed by the late emperor, causing the number of blood and food we need to pay to double, to the point where we can no longer afford it. Perhaps. Zhao Rukun suddenly realized something, his face shocked, angry, and incredulous. Is it because their blood and food tax this year has been slightly delayed for several months? However, with multiple times the tax, no matter how hard they try in a short period of time, they cannot make it all together. Isn't it because they don't pay? As for coming to kill and eat people like this. Chu Mo fell into a deep contemplation, realizing that Jiangnan was not the core area of the demon emperor's rule, but rather the north. And Jiangnan was famously rich. If even Jiangnan is like this, the real situation in the north is unimaginable. Perhaps it has already been a promise not to eat, completely torn apart. Is the demon race recklessly feeding on humans? Uncle Lu. Chu Mo let out a light breath, his eyes lit up and he made a decision. Get ready and head north. Chapter 5. Perfect Blood Refining Technique. Taizu Long Fist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. Watching Zhao Rukun enter the house and tidy up, Chu Mo's thoughts flickered in his mind. This tiger. Chu Mo's gaze flickered as he scanned slightly, realizing something. With a flip of his palm, the clothes on the tiger demon's body shook, and a token instantly fell into his palm. Demon Camp Gorilla. Chu Mo's heart trembled slightly, and he was indeed a general in the army. Gorilla is an intermediate official in a demon camp, with a lower status than a general, mainly assisting the general in managing local demon camp affairs. So, are the local generals also my enemies? Chu Mo was horrified. Although I don't have any family now. But since I'm an enemy, I haven't let it go. Before heading north, all these demon officials and generals in the local area should have been killed. No. We should also eradicate the root cause. Kill all of their families. At this point, Chu Mo's killing heart surged. He first took a look at his power level, which had already reached the early stage of innate ability. It's a bit outrageous. Chu Mo's mouth twitched slightly. Did he remember correctly whether he should have been in heaven before or the day after tomorrow? Blink your eyes and leap over the 10 levels of the acquired realm, upgrading to innate. But think about it, this is theoretically an achievement that he has worked hard for 89 years to achieve. It has become very reasonable again inexplicably. And if it weren't for being born, I wouldn't have been able to beat that tiger. He said seriously, Gate of Time, give me some extra. Chu Mo did not spend all 90 years on it this time, but instead conducted a trial water test for 10 years. After all, he also has to take precautions. If there is really no room for improvement in Taizu Chongquan, 90 years of Krypton is useless, will it be too wasteful? In the first year, you began to rehearse the Taizu fist. The fist intent nurtured on your forehead became even more terrifying. However, you gradually realized that the strength of the fist's intent is extremely exhausting in terms of blood and spiritual power. In the 5th year, your Taizu fist technique gradually increased in intensity by half. The progress was so slow that it could almost be called terrifying. Because as you continued to progress, you gradually realized that there seemed to be a force in heaven and earth that was suppressing the growth of your fist technique. Chu Mo glanced at the sky and thought of one possibility after another. Especially when I thought about before I died, I realized the meaning of my fist. Perhaps this was not a coincidence. If we say that the strength of heroes is consistent with those of ancient times when they are alive, the Yaoqing heroes are the weakest among all heroes, and the more advanced the dynasty's heroes are, the stronger and terrifying they are. Is it because the more modern cultivators are, the weaker their strength is? Originally, he was still confused. In theory, as time goes by, human civilization should continue to advance. He was still wondering if it was because the demon tribe had taken over the world and deliberately suppressed the human tribe. Now it seems that perhaps not, or rather it's not just a problem with the demon Qing, but also with the world. In the 10th year, your Taizu Quan spirit struggled to double its original level. However, you could no longer practice it. Your body was severely depleted, leaving only skin and bones. You had to sleep for 15 hours a day to barely regain your energy. Chu Mo felt the brilliance of his fist in the center of his eyebrows, becoming increasingly terrifying. He silently pulled out the evaluation of the Gate of Time, looking at his own strength column, innate intermediate level. Did you improve by a small level again in 10 years? That's not bad. Chu Mo paced back and forth in place. The trouble now is that there is insufficient qi and blood, mental decline, and not solving this problem. Why do you always feel like something's not quite right? This Nima is simply practicing attack and attack techniques, without cultivating life skills. Chu Mo finally realized later, and at this moment, he still remembered the reminder from the first time he added points before. There is no way to refine qi and nourish life. Chu Mo didn't know what kind of expression he should show for a moment. In theory, shouldn't he first strengthen his body and then slowly develop his punching skills? Is his current problem due to the reversal of priorities? Now we have reached the limit of our body, but there is no way. Without a way, there is no way. At least we need to find a way to obtain some cultivation resources and directly ask Uncle Lu if he wants them. Wait. There. Chu Mo suddenly had a thought. He approached the tiger demon, reached out and pressed his hand on his abdomen, clicking on the extractable words displayed by the time gate in his mind. In the next moment, the body of the tiger demon trembled violently, and then it contracted little by little until only a tiger's skin remained. A blood-colored seed appeared in his palm. This is the demon seed. Chu Mo was dumbfounded. Although he had not seen it in reality, he had seen it on the main world TV. The demon seed is not. It took the municipal master doctor a day to extract the blood essence from the demon. Forget it, it's useless to think about this now. Chu Mo swallowed the demon seed. Normal refining requires the use of specific techniques, which are created and deduced by the heroes born in the era of various demonic beings. Different refining methods have different chances of refining different types of demonic species. The most reliable blood refining method currently is probably the Demon Emperor blood refining method created by the awakened hero of Qianlong. However, even if you obtain the highest level and the most suitable blood refining method for demon species, the chance of success is only 90% if you hold on to it. Before his time traveling, Chu Mo was not qualified to purchase the blood refining technique because he had not yet gone to university for cultivation. Now, naturally, he cannot refine it. Therefore, Chu Mo chose to simply use this thing as a resource for warming and nourishing blood. This is also feasible. Finding a book garden at www.zhaoshuyuan.com is just too extravagant. It's about buying an ancient porcelain and smashing it at home. However, Chu Mo did not feel that this era was full of demons, lacking demon seeds. Let's waste too much and accumulate too much. Another 10 years of lifespan, throw it away. In the first year, you continuously utilized Taizu long fist to refine the demonic blood in your body, and you felt your physique constantly strengthening. In the second year, your physique is still strengthening. In the fifth year, you have completely refined the blood of the demon seed. You feel that your physical strength is more than 3 times that of before, and your skin is extremely resilient. You have noticed something is wrong. This level of increase is clearly a situation that only occurs when successfully refining demon seeds. After all, you have already advanced to Xiantian through nearly 90 years of practicing Taizu Changquan. The physical strength far exceeds that of ordinary people. However, if it is a successful modern refinement, there will inevitably be features of demons on the body surface, such as ears or tails. The fewer features, the more successful it is. But no matter how successful it is, it cannot be without any distinctive features. Even the Demon Emperor's blood refining technique of Emperor Qianlong could not achieve such a thing. But you don't have any demon family characteristics. You are the same as people from beginning to end. This makes you feel unbelievable. Do you perfectly blend demon species without using the blood refining technique? Are you a special case? But you quickly rejected this idea, and after careful consideration, you speculated that it may be that Taizu Changquan played a certain role. Chu Mo fell silent, lost in thought, and a huge wave surged in his heart. He suddenly realized something extremely terrifying. Taizu long fist. Is it a perfect blood refining technique? Chapter 6. Innate Late Stage. My cultivation speed is so fast, it all depends on my own efforts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. In modern society, after awakening, the awakened will acquire a portion of their memories. But this portion of their memory is very limited and incomplete. Some people with high intelligence can comprehend martial arts from this extremely incomplete memory, and upload it to the Artificial Intelligence Review of the Human Race, and Artificial Intelligence Deduction determines that if the technique is not lethal, it can pass the review. And as long as someone purchases these techniques, the creator will naturally receive a huge commission. So the motivation for the heroes to create martial arts is very strong. Chu Mo swallowed his saliva with difficulty, speculating that it might be because those people ultimately deduced the method based on incomplete memories, so the success rate of refining blood seeds varied. But he traveled through this era and obtained the most primitive, truly born method of this era. So the success rate and fit rate are full. There is also a possibility That normal martial arts cannot achieve this. Is Taizu long fist very powerful? Chu Mo pondered. After all, Zhao family castle was directly passed down from the Zhao Song royal family. Anyway, when he returns alive, if he uploads Taizu Changquan to the artificial intelligence Nu, Chu Mo couldn't imagine how much profit he could gain. Moreover, if he were to reveal his identity at that time, he could instantly become a well-known figure in the Shenzhou and even half of the human world, because the top-notch pioneer of spiritual cultivation is equivalent to the top-notch scientist in previous lives. They are driving the progress of human society and protecting the safety of human civilization. Their status goes without saying. In the 10th year, because the demon blood seed has been refined, you can no longer make progress. You can only continue to exercise your strength skills. You have been able to perfectly control this sudden surge of power this year. Chu Mo's expression was strange, and he noticed that his bones were making a popping sound like beans. Now, my physical strength is so terrifying. Chu Mo was a bit stunned. Despite his previous punch that exploded the tiger's head, his physical strength was actually limited compared to that of the tiger demon. But now, he feels like he can press the tiger demon down on the ground with one hand without using his punch, playing with ease like bouncing a kitten's lychee. Cough. Since his body is bony and several times stronger. Then, Chu Mo took a deep breath and threw all the remaining decades of life onto the Taizu long fist. He wants to improve his strength to the highest level in the shortest possible time, and then sweep away the demon camp. Even if it could potentially cause waste in the 10th year, you continuously practice Taizu long fist, increasing your own strength. At the same time, your Taizu fist intention has already doubled from the first year in the 50th year. As you continue to practice, your Taizu fist has become 10 times more powerful than during your early days. However, at this point, your path is stuck and you can no longer move forward. In the 70th year, you did not achieve any growth at all. You are certain that you have truly reached the end of this road. Is there still a way? You're sure there's still. But you're also sure that you can't get past it anymore. You have confirmed that Taizu Changquan is an innate level martial art, and perhaps there will be more content later, but you have been castrated. With your intelligence, even if you want to deduce higher level content from the situation where only Taizu Changquan is available, you cannot deduce it. As for the fist intention, your physical body, which has been strengthened by the demon seed, may be able to support your fist intention to continue to strengthen, but your spirit cannot. Chu Mo remained silent for a long time, summoning the gate of time again, and realizing that his strength evaluation had reached the late stage of innate ability. Although the rocket upgrade is indeed outrageously fast, Chu Mo is not at all guilty. It was all his own hard work to repair it. Should we find a new, higher level cultivation method? Chu Mo made up his mind as he watched Uncle Lu, who had finished packing up his delicate and small bags, walk out of the room. Tongnan Prefecture. Demon Camp. The sky is getting late. General Yel Yuqi, with his hands on his back, frowned and gazed at the moon outside the barracks. Why hasn't the tiger cub come back yet? As the Demon Emperor's Christmas approaches, the Governor-General of Jiangnan region must prepare a heavy gift, and the pressure is pressing down layer by layer. When it comes to him, the amount has already given him a headache. Although I have taken out all the things I have been greedy for these years to feed my boss's appetite, why? So naturally, we can only endure hardship for the people. He had previously instructed the tiger cubs to find a place for the wealthy to kill the rooster and warn the monkeys, to deter those troublemakers and local tycoons, and to make up for all the blood and food taxes they had previously lacked. But theoretically, he should have returned early. So there shouldn't have been any accidents, right? Yel Yuqi was slightly worried, but soon let go of it. Tiger Cub is a fierce general, although only equivalent to 10 levels of heaven after tomorrow. He is not without the ability to fight back against innate martial artists. It's not like there's a congenital hidden in this wilderness, is it? Are you joking? Don't say it's Tongnan Prefecture, even in the Jiangnan region, the number of innate strong people is less than 3 digits. Record on the demon record. Every newly appointed demon official must carefully review before taking office, and unless absolutely necessary, they must not offend. It's not 100 years ago. 100 years ago, the human race still had arrogance, and even if the demon emperor entered the pass and the situation was complete, the 18 masters dared to sacrifice their lives. However, now, after 100 years of continuous education by the Holy Emperor, as long as they did not eat people in public in front of those human warriors, they would consider themselves unseen. But the next moment, he suddenly sensed an indescribable qi. Yao Yuqi's eyes slowly widened as he searched for the book garden www.zhaosuiyuan.com. The sound of footsteps suddenly sounded, neither urgent nor slow, revealing a sense of calmness. Finally, several figures appeared from the end of his line of sight. A tall man was holding a man wearing a governor's clothing in his hand. And beside him was a young child, with a divine light shining in their eyes, extraordinary, but he still locked his gaze on the man for the first time. Is that him? Zhao Rukan threw the governor of Jiangbei to the ground. Hero, exactly. Exactly. The governor nodded repeatedly, with a pleasing and fearful expression on his face. He occasionally looked at Chu Mo, but dared not say anything more. Song Yuchen, you bastard. Yao Yuqi's face was gloomy. Humph, you scumbags. Really don't deserve to be trusted. Yao Yuqi was not afraid and walked step by step towards Zhao Rukan, his muscles gradually bulging and his body gradually covered with a dense layer of scales. A wisp of demonic energy seeped out from his body. The sound of breaking through the air echoed one after another. A divine sparrow with a wingspan of 3 meters landed on the edge of the camp tent, transforming into an old man with a thin body, a hunched back, a hooked eagle nose and a freckled face. Several black apes wearing kipeos also darted out of the corner, watching the scene with great interest. Did someone surnamed Song betray us? Okay. Old monkey. Didn't you say you could also be a patrol? Just take out this guy and report to the governor. Jia, even if the governor is a master of the human race and leans towards the human race in his heart. He can't find any thorns. What a stupid bird, that's called a governor. What has become a governor? If I wanted to, I could eat 1 governor a day. The artistic conception that can only be realized above the master in Chapter 7. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, there's a little cub over there. The Holy Emperor used to be very cautious and didn't allow eating human cubs, but now someone has brought the cub to his door. Isn't this God helping me? God knows I'm greedy. Are there only a few of you left? Chu Mo scanned the surroundings and sighed faintly. Although I made some small pastries before. But with just you guys, I'm still a bit disappointed this time. Accompanied by Chu Mo's words, the blood and energy hidden in his body finally ceased to be concealed. A faint mist emanates from the skin, making the clothes windless and automatic. This aura. Innate expert. Yao Yuqi's expression changed for the first time, causing a huge wave in his heart. Such a young child. Born. Chu Mo raised his right arm in a movement, and a terrifying wave burst out on his fist. The combination of qi and blood, as well as his spirit, almost condensed into a solid fist, and he threw it straight at Yao Yuqi. Yao Yuqi sensed an indescribable crisis, his expression changed dramatically, and he only had time to transform into his original form. A 4-meter-long crocodile appeared, its suddenly swollen body tearing apart his official uniform. But before Yao Yuqi could do anything, the terrifying fist intent rushed directly into his body and out of his belly and back. With the spiritual power of killing intent and terrifying imagery, he wreaked havoc within his body, shattering his internal organs. The crocodile's pupils enlarged, and the intense pain made it unbearable. but what shocked and even frightened him even more was, the artistic conception. Power. How could this be? Before the words could be finished, the crocodile, like a small mountain, swayed its body several times before falling to the ground with a loud crash and dying on the spot. The scene was completely silent. A towering demon, its brain blank for a moment at this moment. Without discussion or contemplation, they almost instinctively fled in all directions. The old man transformed into a divine sparrow, soaring into the sky. Chu Mo transformed his fist into a palm and lightly lifted it upwards, creating a terrifying palm wind out of thin air. The divine sparrow's body suddenly stiffened, and all of its hair on the surface exploded and fell off, floating from the air, revealing its bone skin that oozed blood underneath. He fell straight to the ground. Chu Mo inexplicably thought of the bird he had seen in his past life, standing on a power pole and falling straight from the electric shock. The black apes crawled into the tent in a disheveled state, interspersed with camping tents, roaring and calling out a large number of demon camp soldiers. They were ordered by their official positions to rush towards Chu Mo's territory, while themselves fled in a disheveled state. Obviously, they didn't want these soldiers to surround Chu Mo because it was impossible. The demon ape just wanted to use the lives of these human soldiers to buy time for themselves. These 3 monkeys. That's okay. Chu Mo let out a sigh of relief and didn't just chase after them. After all, he was only strong in his fists now and didn't know how to make any moves, so he couldn't catch up if he wanted to. More importantly, he needed to gather the harvest as soon as possible. With a calm grip, his mood surged, and he rolled up birds and crocodiles out of thin air. With the other hand, he grabbed Uncle Lu's sleeve and walked straight towards the camp in Yeltsi, speaking calmly. "Corrupt officials, I'll leave the rest of the world to you. If we're disturbed." Chu Mo did not say the end, but Song Yuchen trembled and humbly knelt on the ground, showing a pleasing smile on his face. "I'll listen to your arrangements." It's not that he lacks backbone. Before arriving here and meeting Yel Yuqi, this culprit dressed in child skin was asked to guide him to these large camp demon tribes and visit the mansion in Tongnan. After watching everything, he almost scared himself to pee. From top to bottom, from old to young. They were all killed completely. Ordinary servants, if they have not committed any crimes, can still be spared their lives. If they were demons, even the newborn ones would be strangled to death. What's even more terrifying is the monster in front of me. With a gentle wave of his hand, all those monsters were left with only one skin more than a demon. He is just an ordinary scholar, how can he withstand this? However, seeing both of them enter the camp without a trace, Song Yuchen's waist suddenly straightened up. He was furious as he watched the torches quickly approaching him. "What are you doing?" "I am Song Yuchen, the governor of Jiangbei." "You are so bold. I command you to immediately put down your torches now." "What kind of noise is it?" "That one over there." "Commander Zhang, what are you looking at?" "He's talking about you. Are you hiding back?" Song Yuchen stepped forward and directly shook off 2 earphones of a military commander he knew. "Organize your team." Song Yuchen's face turned grim for a moment, and he was also using it to vent his emotions. After hesitating for a moment, he still whispered in the ear of the person he knew, "Let's not get involved in the affairs between the rebels and the demon race." Although Song Yuchen just led the way, he still doesn't think he's bowing down to the anti-party, which is called a last resort. Well, although he was a bit dozing off in his heart about whether his boss could believe this after getting out of trouble in the future. The control of the Zhang surname was immediately fully understood, and he was stimulated all over. He quickly nodded and called on the surrounding soldiers to return. Song Yuchen breathed a sigh of relief and nervously glanced at the direction of the barracks, pondering whether he was waiting here or leaving now, however. Just now Yel joined the army, did he mention the artistic conception? Song Yuchen's pupils contracted, and after realizing it, a cold sweat seeped through his body. Zhaozuiyuan.com. As a governor, he can also be considered a high-ranking official in the same region. He once saw several masters preaching at a banquet held in Kyoto. Those world-renowned martial arts masters seem to have once described. Meaning. Those martial arts sects seem to be highly respected and even crave, in other words, even they have no control over. So are the mysterious mysterious meanings in the mouth of Emperor Wuzong really the artistic conception mentioned by General Yelv. Song Yuchen's teeth trembled, his face even uglier than crying. Don't tell him, that child is a celestial being who surpasses the martial arts master. It's impossible, or which unparalleled expert has broken through a certain realm and returned to youth. He would rather believe this. But if that's the case, it's over, it's over. It's completely over. The previous generation of the evil animal patrol did not even record in the demon record that there was such a diving crocodile lurking in this place. This is no longer innate. If it was above the Grandmaster, then he had to be at least a Grandmaster before, right? These heavenly beings seem to have a huge opinion of the court. If they raise the flag and rebel, with their strength and courage surpassing that of the martial arts sect, they may not really be able to shake the world at that time, no matter how eloquent his tongue was. Even after his defeat and the anger of the sage, he had no choice but to die. Yel Yuqi used to say that this was an innate expert. Huh, what a joke. Song Yuchen's face was bitter. It's impossible for an innate master to control the artistic conception, right? That's true. Aren't those masters who dominate the world just a bunch of useless people? Even worse than being born. Moreover, as far as he knows, General Yelv is also an innate expert. How could a pure expert be easily crushed and killed like that? Chapter 8. The Great Secrets of Heaven and Earth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, at the same time. Within the camp of Yeltsi. Chu Mo watched as Zhao Rukan skillfully searched and knocked on the wall from time to time. Soon, he found a place and smashed a brick with a punch. He took out a wooden box and handed it to Chu Mo. As if sensing the silence in Chu Mo's eyes, Zhao Rukan smiled awkwardly and said, "When I was a child, I was very naughty. I often liked to do some mischievous things. My father and big brother, many of their things were dug up by me at that time. Although they were beaten very badly at the time, I also know they were doing it for my good, otherwise." Zhao Rukan's mood once again became low, clearly recalling his lost home. Chu Mo remained silent for a moment, without saying much. His fingers lightly brushed against the keyhole, and the entire box exploded with a loud bang, revealing several gold bars and beautiful jade Buddha statues. What? Is that all? Chu Mo's eyes were speechless for a moment. Where is the cultivation method? Nima. Don't these monsters need to be cultivated? Young master. Are you looking? Zhao Rukan suddenly spoke cautiously, and he carefully took out a piece of cloth, like a pocket. He took out a thin piece of silk from it. Chu Mo took the cloth and looked at the densely packed words on it, feeling mixed. I saw that old demon just now, shattering my clothes. This thing fell in front of me. With my eyesight, I knew there was something at first glance, and then picked it up to take a look. I just didn't think of you. Zhao Rukan smiled awkwardly. Later, he began to give Chu Mo advice again. Governor Song must also have martial arts skills in his hands. Although he has a cunning appearance and a weak body, there is no official in this world who doesn't want to become a martial arts master. For example, the Governor-General of Jiangnan. It is not because of his master's strength and loyalty to the court that he has gained the trust of the Demon Emperor. Chu Mo didn't respond and came to the two dead monsters to absorb their lifespan as usual, allowing Time Gate to extract demon seeds from their bodies. In the end, Chu Mo glanced at the remaining lifespan he had obtained, which was 320 years. Something's wrong. Chu Mo furrowed his brow and muttered to himself. You should know that he not only killed these two demons, but also killed them, and even the entire family of those monkeys, before coming from beginning to end. I'm afraid if we add up killing more than 10, the result will only be over 300 years. On average, one monster lasts for 20.30 years. Isn't it? Are these monsters so short in lifespan? Especially that general, your status is so much higher than that tiger, and the lifespan you gave may not be as good as him. Is that okay? Chu Mo pulled out the prompt messages and compared them one by one, his expression gradually becoming strange. Firstly, the few demon cubs he killed seem to have not provided longevity. It seems that it's because you haven't embarked on the path of cultivation. Secondly, even this participating general, his lifespan does not exceed 120 years. As for that old sparrow, it only has a lifespan of 80 years, and he has already lived for 70 years, with only 10 years left. Something's wrong. Chu Mo was puzzled. In the evaluation of the Gate of Time, General Yell's strength was innate and intermediate, while the old sparrow was at its peak. The crocodile general didn't need to mention it for now. Why is the life expectancy of the old sparrow so much worse than that tiger? And, does this kind of improvement from postnatal to innate not increase lifespan at all? Or is it just an increase of 10 years? After a brief silence, Chu Mo remembered something. He glanced at his lifespan and twitched at the corner of his mouth. Alright, it's confirmed that breaking through innate limitations does not increase lifespan because he still has only 1 year of life expectancy now. I just don't know if it's possible to reach a higher level. Chu Mo was a little worried for a moment. However, that participating general is actually in the mid-innate stage. So, how can I calculate that I am only one small level higher than him? Chu Mo's expression was somewhat subtle. Can a small realm make him instantly defeat the opponent? Or is it because he possesses the intention of boxing, which leads to his strength far exceeding his realm? I didn't expect that I could also enjoy the treatment of superior combat that only the arrogant in fantasy novels could enjoy. Chu Mo pondered for a moment, but ultimately looked at the tattered silk cloth. Change face method, Chu Mo. His mother, Chu Mo, feels a little numb. He was thinking that if this skill is similar, even if it is really another congenital skill, he will try it for 100 years to see if he can find out the second martial art or other meanings. Is this the result? Show him joy, but when Chu Mo flipped through it twice, he found something even more enjoyable. This thing may be because the crocodile used too much force when changing its body. A large part was torn off. That means this thing is incomplete. There should still be a large part of the clothes torn before the crocodile. He said, how could Zhao Rukun's luck be so incredible? Chu Mo expressionlessly threw it to Zhao Rukun, who was a bit confused. With Chu Mo's signal, he flipped it over twice and his face instantly turned green. I'll go find it now. Zhao Rukun quickly spoke. As you said, go to the home of that corrupt official surnamed Song at Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com and see if there are any good martial arts techniques. Chu Mo turned around without hesitation. Zhao Rukun quickly carried all the gold bars and jade Buddhas on his back, closely following behind Chu Mo. Song Yuchen saw Chu and Mo leave the camp and turn into licking dog faces again, but upon hearing their demands in front of him, he immediately turned into bitter melon faces. But a request from a suspected celestial being, he dared not refuse. Not to mention asking him to take out his collection of martial arts and let him sleep in the old sow in the pigsty, he could only obediently take off his pants. Therefore, he could only mourn and find Zhao Rukun's back pain and soreness together, and only then did he find the remaining method of changing faces for another day. Then, with Chu Mo and Zhao Rukun, they arrived at his study. He has innate martial arts, such as lightness skill, crossing the river with a reed, Buddhism, throwing the tablet hand, and Arhat fist. In addition, there is also a pile of miscellaneous postnatal martial arts. Are they all from Buddhism? Chu Mo placed the secret script on the table, frowning. And don't you have any internal skills? Internal skill? What is internal skill? Song Yuchen's face was bewildered. Chu Mo was stunned for a moment, then realized that even Zhao Ruken's face was still a bit confused. He tightened his heart for a moment, but in the next moment, he seemed to understand something. Does this world, or rather this era, have no internal skills for cultivating qi? Chu Mo's memories of the past are somewhat eerie. I'm fine now, Uncle Lu, and even those monsters. It seems like they're all using their physical and energy skills to fight. Those at the same level of strength, the demon tribe has stronger physical strength, while the human tribe has stronger skills. As for me, it's just that I simply condensed my martial arts skills, which is why I was able to combine my blood and energy with my spirit, and then penetrate through my body. Can you say? Chapter 9. The meaning of rivers and seas and the meaning of mountains and rivers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. Moreover, Chu Mo quickly realized that the demonic and heroic spirits of the main world had created all the same blood refining methods. There is no set of gas refining methods. The blood refining technique starts by refining a demon seed. After successfully entering the realm, one needs to hunt down the demons themselves, constantly carry their bodies back, find excellent doctors to extract the demon seed, and then continuously devour it again, making one's body stronger. Chu Mo silently pondered in his heart. Essentially, the blood refining technique is a set of techniques for refining blood and body. If all the demonic and heroic spirits have not been involved in qi cultivation, it cannot be a coincidence. It is only possible that this era does not have it. It makes sense, everything makes sense, Chu Mo muttered to himself in his heart. Sir. Song Yuchen whispered, feeling a bit uneasy in his heart. I want to ask, why don't you have a master's method here? Or do you know where there is a master's method? Chu Mo turned his head and stared at Song Yuchen. Song Yuchen was stunned and stuttered, Your Highness. Sect, Grandmaster's Dharma. There's no such thing. Every Grandmaster cultivates innate Dharma, and finally integrates his own path to improve. And even if the Grandmaster creates his own Dharma, it's useless even if it's used by others. Song Yuchen couldn't understand why this childlike celestial being didn't know about this. Could it be said? Song Yuchen's heart tightened. Is this the method that can create a master of mass production? Can we say that the method of mass production master is related to what this person is talking about? Song Yuchen had countless thoughts in his mind, and the more he thought about it, the more he became frightened. Chu Mo frowned slightly and didn't say much. He lowered his head, roughly flipped through several books, and then closed his eyes to ponder. With the growth of physical strength, Chu Mo found that his reaction speed and memory had been greatly improved. It can be said to be unforgettable. Crossing the river with a reed is a congenital lightness skill. Throwing the tablet hand is extremely powerful. But this Arhat fist, although not inferior to Taizu long fist, has overlapping effects. You can delay it later. Chu Mo quickly made a decision in his heart, taking out 100 lifetimes each and using them on the one Lu crossing the river and the Great Slayer Monument. The benefits brought by the 200-year lifespan consumption can be said to be immediate. In the 3rd year, you officially started crossing the river at Ilu. In the 30th year, you have achieved great success in lightness skills and can cross rivers and fly freely on the grass. In the 40th year, you can now cross the Yangtze River. In the 50th year, you have tasted a corner of the thoughts of the founder of Ilu crossing the river, and you can even walk in the air in a short time. In the 80th year, based on the mysteries of Taizu long fist, you began to transform the Ilu crossing river, which had already reached its ultimate level of cultivation. In the 100th year, you combined the method you controlled and realized the law of vandalism and annexation. You named it treading on the river and sea. 1 foot can take off, soar, rotate, walk on rivers and seas, like walking on a flat ground, can go from top to bottom, and carries the meaning of rivers and seas with one foot. Step through countless rivers. Your fist intention carries the attributes of rivers and seas. In the situation you want, you can shoot out illusory rivers and seas, creating real damage. Chu Mo's eyelids twitched, although it was somewhat unexpected, he felt it was reasonable to think about it. Because this bonus is not just a simple bonus, but more like a simulation of what results he will achieve after practicing this set of methods for so many years. And then, at the cost of his lifespan, directly manifest the results onto himself. In this situation, one's own knowledge reserves are obviously of great help to the cultivation of the Dharma. During the reign of Emperor Taizu's long fist, Chu Mo was only in control of this technique, and he had no way of advancing or performing higher level techniques, as his accumulation was too shallow. However, when he reached the extreme level of learning Taizu Changquan and was learning the second method, Taizu Changquan instead became a strong accumulation, naturally playing a huge role in his learning of the second method. Chu Mo only felt a slight tingling in his legs and feet, with a large amount of information floating in his brain. His eyes were bright and lively, and his waist gradually straightened. Song Yuchen and Zhao Rukun's pupils suddenly contracted, and they instinctively took a step away from Chu Mo. After realizing this, Zhao Rukun continued to approach Chu Mo with some shame. But Song Yuchen was uncertain and shocked inexplicably. Just now, he felt like standing on a fishing boat, facing Chu Mo, as if facing a massive tsunami, with a deadly suffocation. Almost instinctive regression, like the power of heaven and earth. Song Yuchen's heart grew even more awe-stricken, even suspecting that this might be the origin of the name, Heaven and Man. At the same time, he also erased another possibility he had guessed before. That was, the child in front of him was really a coincidence, controlling the innate artistic conception. After all, Chu Mo had no knowledge of the master before, and with the words of General Yelv, it was inevitable that he had some doubts about it. But now these doubts have all disappeared. This must be a living celestial being. At this moment, Chu Mo has already started his extra cultivation as a stone slayer. Zhaoshuyuan.com. In the 10th year, your arm's toughness and strength have increased by 50% compared to before. With a flick of your arm, the air waves rolled up can even shatter a 10-meter hill 20 meters away. In the 50th year, you inexplicably realized that you were facing a strange bottleneck in front of you. Your hands and legs seem to have sublimated into a strange realm. And in the flow of blood, enhanced versions of hands and feet inject some special substances into your main body, making your body constantly stronger. Chu Mo's pupils shrank, and countless thoughts flew through his brain. In addition, the 100-year cultivation of Ilu crossing the river has once again boosted his overall strength, but this transformation is clearly not as immediate as his previous practice of Taizu Long Fist. After all, he is already very strong now. From 1 to 10, that is a complete transformation. But from 10 to 20, my body changes naturally cannot compare to the previous ones. But this is also enough to prove that after practicing the Great Slayer Monument Slayer again, at least his hands and feet have broken through the field of innate late stage. It is highly likely that he has reached the realm of a master. Now, quantitative changes trigger qualitative changes, and both hands and feet begin to provide feedback reinforcement to his physique. The bottleneck felt in the simulation of adding points may be the bottleneck of achieving a master. In the 80th year, the strength of your body and arms is unimaginable. You even suspect that you are now a semi-master. At least when using the Great Slayer, your destructive power is comparable to that of a true master. Just the main defense, slightly inferior in the 100th year, you combine the Taizu Long Fist with the Great Slaying Steel Hand, adding a mountain-like atmosphere to your boxing skills. Thick as a mountain, thick soil carrying materials. Chapter 10. Grandmaster. Grandmaster. The second fist meaning. Arhat fist meaning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, but unfortunately, your overall physical strength is still inferior to that of your hands and feet, and you have not yet crossed that bottleneck, is that so? Although there was no breakthrough, Chu Mo was not disappointed. If it's just a matter of physical strength. Chu Mo quickly had an idea in his heart. He flipped his palm and took out one demon seed after another. First, he put the demon seeds of General Yelv and Old Sparrow into his mouth, sensing the changes in chi and blood. Well, my body can handle it. Even, there's a lot of room for it. Chu Mo breathed a sigh of relief as he was about to swallow all the demon seeds. Lack of physical strength, continuing to strengthen means. Even if these demon species are not enough, can we kill some more monsters? This demon dynasty, other things may be difficult to find, but if monsters are everywhere, they cannot be called rare. Then, Chu Mo used up all the remaining over 100 years of his lifespan. However, these lifespans are not meant to refine demon seeds this time. After all, even if they were fighting Taizu Changquan, Chu Mo could also refine them. This time, he wants to master Arhat Fist, another day's face-changing technique, and the miscellaneous acquired Kung Fu combined with his own learning. See if you can create your own path as a master and step into that realm. In the 40th year, because of understanding by analogy, your Arhat Fist quickly reached the acme with the help of Taizu's long fist attainments. It surpasses your attainments in crossing the river with a reed and in wrestling stone tablets. In the 50th year, you have practiced all 13 acquired methods to the extreme, but these methods have not greatly improved your strength. It can only be said that the knowledge contained within has improved your foundation. In the 70th year, you finally made progress in the face-changing method, and you were shocked to find that this method is actually a very, very advanced method. And it is not the same way as Arhat boxing, Taizu Changquan, and the stone tablet wrestler. Crossing the river with a reed is totally different. Chu Mo's eyelids twitched. Did he even look away? I thought it wasn't a big deal. Could it bring him an unexpected surprise with the face-changing method another day? But upon careful consideration, this method can be carried by the mid-level demon clan generals in close proximity, even unwilling to be placed in other places. In theory, it is indeed a secret method to protect the innate level. Even although Song Yuchen said that the teachings of a master's realm cannot be practiced by others, Chu Mo did not fully believe it. He was just an acquired level cultivator, a master who understands hammers. Perhaps even if he knew, he would probably have heard bits and pieces of information from somewhere. Who knows if there is precision and error in the 80th year. You were amazed to discover that another day, the face-changing method only involves modifying the face at the beginning. When it is completed, you can freely shrink and expand the root bone, transforming it into a dwarf of 1 meter or a giant of more than 2 meters. And when you practice it to the extreme level, you feel that your spiritual strength has actually increased slightly. You can briefly change the perception of others towards you through your spiritual power. Reduce your presence or enhance your aura, making yourself as majestic as a king. Chu Mo was stunned, the method to enhance his spiritual power. It's time for the dog. There can still be this kind of operation. And you have to change your face another day. Your mother, did you practice to the extreme and directly change your temperament? Change others' perception of oneself. Isn't this a weakened version of little hypnosis? In the 100th year, all the demon seeds that have been refined make your body stronger than ever before. And the powerful spiritual power, combined with physical strength, allows you to easily cross that sky barrier in the moment you think. You have created your own path. You named it Tai Quan. What is Tai? Mountains, rivers, vast oceans, covering everything, it is called Tai. You have become the existence of the Grandmaster realm. Chu Mo remained silent. Grandmaster, Grandmaster. How difficult it is. How terrifying. He cheats. Cough, relying on his own hard cultivation requires so much energy and time. In the 120th year, you suddenly realized that you are standing in an extremely special field. You are unprecedentedly calm and composed, and if you want, you can summon and reorganize everything you have known before. You entered this field by analogy with Arhat boxing in Thai boxing, so you dare to guess that this may be the field that Dharma once reached. After all, doesn't Buddhism often talk about enlightened individuals? Perhaps due to luck, or perhaps for other reasons, you briefly established yourself in the field that your senior practitioner had previously reached on the path of cultivation. The Taizu long fist, or Tai fist, has had a great resonance. After you left that field for an unknown amount of time, you were somewhat surprised to find that you finally understood the second type of boxing technique, Arhat fist. Chu Mo felt some joy in his heart. Although I had previously realized the two major artistic conception of rivers, seas, mountains, and rivers, these two artistic conception ultimately rely on the Taizu Changquan. Not an independent artistic conception. But now, the second punch intention is born. It's fundamentally different. Chu Mo's eyes drooped slightly, sensing the earth-shattering changes within his body. Every small scar in his body is healing, and the potential impact of the herbs he eats from childhood to adulthood on his own foundation is silently erased. His brain's countless messages flickered and surfaced at this moment. At the same time, his breathing became longer and he felt like he could hold his breath. The high-intensity war lasted day and night without any impact. Find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, as if oxygen can self-circulate in the body. Arhat fist means use it like Buddha, kill it like devil. Chu Mo quietly savored the new information in his mind. Silently calling up the rating of time gate, Chu Mo silently looked at the junior evaluation of the master. Dear mother, is this the feeling of upgrading as simple as eating and drinking water? Well, it's actually quite difficult. Chu Mo also realized later that his talent should not be considered high. After all, it was equivalent to spending more than 400 years to break through the Grandmaster. And it took him a full 20 years to break through the Grandmaster before he fully stabilized in this realm. Chu Mo glanced at his lifespan and finally saw that it had increased to 130 years. That is to say, Chu Mo now has an additional lifespan of 32 years. According to the current known information, a normal master can only live for 130 years. And it took him over 400 years to break through this. But on the other hand, I feel like my current lifespan is. There's nothing I can do. Is there any possibility? In Chu Mo's mind, thoughts surged. Is this lifespan the ultimate that the human body can theoretically achieve? At least the ultimate level that a master can reach. But no matter what, I can still live for 33 years. This should be enough for me to reach the pinnacle of this era, even surpassing it. Even if I were to gather at that time, I should still be the strongest hero in the era of Yaoqing. Chu Mo's eyes narrowed slightly, and with the help of the artistic conception of the earth, he felt an inexplicable fit between himself and the land under his feet. Being able to sense things at a greater distance. After a moment of contemplation, Chu Mo turned his head and took a long breath. The white vaporization in the mouth turned into a white sword, long and sharp, piercing through the wall and attracting bursts of exclamation from the outside world.